that's no fun. Whew. What's going on, guys? It's Danny from Slow Restoration, and it's so cold in here. The heater doesn't even know how cold it is, so we need to get this shop warmed up. Well, I guess I can't say I'm freezing now. We are above freezing. Time to get to work. All right, guys, we did get 2 boxes in today. The first one is from Current Performance Wiring, and that is, of course, our wiring harness for our engine swap. So excited, very excited to open this box up and check it out. And the second one is inline tube, and this should be the brake lines we've been waiting on. Let's just hope they're right. Excited to see them too, and be nice to finally get these finished up. So before we open these though, I decided which front to back wiring harness I'm going to use. I got it cleaned up here a little bit. I took and just wiped it down. Didn't go crazy, but got to make it look a little bit better. So we're going to get this strung on and clipped in all of our clips as we go back to frame and in the places it needs to be. And then once we get this in, I think we're ready for the gas tank also, the fuel tank. So all right, we got our wiring harness run excuse me, run back through here, plugged up where we could. Really the only connection we can plug up right now is this evap control. There's our fuel pump harness. Runs up the frame rail all the way up to the front. So that's as far as we can take that now. Probably the next step is to get the fuel tank actually installed in the frame, and we can get some other stuff buttoned up. But let's open these boxes up and see what we got. Set this down. Well, first impression is they definitely look more correct. They have the curly spot in it for flex, and there are 2 different sizes. The front to back is 1/4 inch, and the front lines are 3/16. And the tube nuts are different sizes, so I think we might have a winner on these. We got this front to back line mocked up, and like I said, it looks much better. The ABS control module kind of sits right above this wheel on the inner fender. So with just a little bit of tweaking, that kind of points right at the direction it probably should be. So I think we have a winner on these lines. Even though this was a complete brake line kit, it did not come with unions, so I did have them send out the 2 unions that are needed for this kit. So if you're buying these kits from Inline Tube, just they want you to reuse your original unions, but of course mine were old and rusty, so we can't put them on. So we got new unions, and I guess the major issue here was there was a mix-up on their website, and when you order these kits, the $98.99 I think take this line kit, and 2000 might take a separate kit, and then 2000 up or 2001 up have another kit. I could be wrong on that, but there is a problem with the listing on their website. But we did finally get them, and of course we have to pull this motor back out to put that crossover to the right front wheel. So I guess we might as well do that real quick. We'll get the engine hoist hooked back up, get this motor pulled out, we can get that line bolted in, and get this motor bolted back down, hopefully for the last time. As you can see, we have the motor unhooked and suspended up off the frame, hopefully like I said, for the last time. So this line must have got squished to fit in that small box. So I think we're just going to start from this side where the brake hose is. Obviously we know it has to go there. It needs to go right here with that clamp, and it needs to go across this cross member. And we're just gonna have to bend it and make it fit, because that's all we have. All right, we're able to get that line molded through there. Got it fitting pretty good now. The stainless is fairly soft, not too bad to bend around and make it fit, so that's a good thing. I'm not sure header fitment over here. We might have to massage that a little bit more, but we'll see once we get the motor back down and fitted. So I guess next step is to tighten all these fittings up, because they're going to be a little tricky after the motor and trans are in there. Before I set this motor in, there is a harness that goes, or at least originally came down through these holders here, which would also be kind of difficult to get in with the motor in. Let's go ahead and open this box up from Current Performance and lay our wiring harness out, make sure there isn't something that goes there, and see what we have inside. It looks like they have a test-in procedure or test-in process report. Looks like it passed. Let's hope it did. Bubble wrap. Harness looks good. I guess it should. And we do see some heat wrap stuff in there, so we might actually have, let me set this on the floor. Alright, we cleaned swept up a section of floor here, make it nice and clean so we can set this harness down, kind of lay it out. Alright, see what we have here. Obviously, this end is going to be for the computer. It's going to plug into that. I think this plugs into the body harness. We have some loose wires. I'm not sure what they're for. I think this is AC compressor. We got a couple relays we have to mount on the firewall. And then we probably start getting into engine harness. Alright, these are labeled, so these are loose wires for fan 1, fan 2. Oil pressure. So this is kind of behind the motor. So I think we have this upside down. Let me flip it. Alright, I think I'm learning this. So this is going to sit kind of passenger side. Back here is the firewall. We have a fuel tank. I'm not 100% sure what that is. Fuel tank. We'll figure that out. We have the vehicle speed sensor wire and the backup lamps. So hopefully this plugs right into our trans. We'll see in a minute. Of course, these are oxygen sensors, like I said, left and right, moving across the firewall. This will come over and plug into our fuse box. We'll grab it in a second, make sure that plugs in. That'll sit somewhere over here. Throttle body plugs, so we're going up the motor now, left and right side. Yep. Alternator, coolant temp, mass airflow sensor. And of course, like I said, these are that's for the coil pack, and this is the fuel injector plugs. Same with this side. So our intake's going to be in this area, throttle body up here, plugs wrap around for that, and these are going to be battery terminals. Starter stud, okay, and of course a ground. So not too much going on. Should be a nice clean harness once it's installed. So it does not appear that we have any wires from this harness going under the motor through that cross member. So we should be good with that, I think. And of course they sent us some stickers. Can't forget them. Actually, we're not going to use this at all because our new harness has the oxygen sensor built into it. So I think they're not junk, but they're not any good for us. Sure enough, I did have to run a harness through there, as you can see. That harness comes up around from the driver's side to the passenger side, plugs into the ABS sensor, continues around. There's a ground wire, and then it comes over and plugs into the passenger side airbag. It goes back across driver's side ABS sensor, sorry. And then coming over, it goes to the driver's side airbag sensor, and then comes up. I'm assuming that's the airbag main plug before it goes into the firewall. And then this comes over and goes to the ABS control module. Got our motor in, as you can see. Clearance is still pretty good. I can reach up in there and move that harness, so it's not pinched. It's tight in there, but it's not pinched. I can still move it around, so I'm good with that. I might actually zip tie this to the brake line just to keep it down from maybe riding up towards that header once we get it on. And probably the same with this side, just maybe a zip tie, keep that nice and snug. Other than that, I think we're looking good. Our clearance here is still good. Got our wires for our airbag sensors. So, looking good. I forget where I left off filming. It's just kind of been working here, but we did get the gas tank mounted up in there. Straps all tight. We didn't run the fuel lines yet. We still have to clean them up. They're in good shape. I'm probably gonna paint them to make it a little cleaner looking. But the gas tank's up in there. It's actually looking pretty good now. It's looking like a chassis. It's ready for a body, really. We might still fab up the exhaust before we put the body on. Well, of course, we have to paint the body, so we'll get the body on when we get painted, but we'll keep chipping away at this frame chassis a little bit here and there. We did get it on dollies. We have to move this out of the way because we have a job, actually 2 jobs coming in the morning that we need to knock out before we can get back on this. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Subscribe if you're not, and have a good day.